What's up, guys? Colin Stuckert here, founder CEO. I got some of my Drink Your Fat. So this is some butter coffee. It's got some cocoa butter, MCT oil, wild coffee. Looks like she put a little bit of cinnamon in it and some vanilla powder. I'm drinking this in lieu of breakfast. Today, I'm gonna go over a few points, a few of my tips and my best practices for starting fasting in the morning, why you should wanna fast in the morning, and what it's gonna do for you. Let's get to it. Why would you want to skip breakfast? Basic reason: your biology is not designed to eat as consistently as you've led to believe your whole life. Been led to believe that 3 square meals a day, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, or I should say breakfast in the morning is the most important meal of the day. And all of this nonsense is a result of food marketing. Food companies, supplement companies, bar companies, they all make more money when you buy more and eat more products. This filters even into like fitness and health, like, the idea that you have to have a protein shake right after you finish your workout or your muscles are going to waste away, you're not going to get any gains. This is all marketing dogma. This is all nonsense. Human beings lived in the wild as hunter-gatherers for hundreds of thousands of years. And before that, as primates. Food in the wild is not ubiquitous. There's no grocery stores. There's not a butcher shop. There's not a Whole Foods. There's not Amazon Prime. There's no refrigerators. There's no modern food preservation. What do you think we did when we didn't have food? We wouldn't eat. Also, observational research that's been done on modern day hunter-gatherers, and so people that kind of lived the way our ancestors would have lived, which there are still some today that still live this way, they've shown that the peoples tend to not try to eat every day. There'd be days where they would eat, there'd be days they would try to eat. And breakfast, especially in the morning, was like never a thing, right? If they were hungry, they might snack on things they had, some leaves, twigs, berries, whatever. But for the most part, hunter-gatherers didn't try to eat on a daily basis. They didn't have the hunger hormone disruption that we have. And this is fundamentally why fasting, intermittent fasting I should say, which is basically meal timing, is so good for you. In fact, did you know that the reason we have the 3 square meals a day is rooted in when the pilgrims came over here and settled the Americas? What happened is Europeans came over and they saw Indians, who they thought were savages, didn't have any kind of rhyme or reason to eat the way they ate food, like the timing, how much and what time of the day, things like that. And so as a way to separate ourselves from the savages, because they were uncivilized and the Europeans were civilized, the 3 square meals a day was born. And then you can trace back food marketing, processed food revolution, TV advertising that was then marketed like breakfast foods to kids and things like that, and all of the crap that's been going on in this country for a long time. That is why we now have a 50+ obesity rate and an even higher overweight, and the #1 killer being heart disease. It's not a conspiracy theory, and it should come as no surprise to see that we eat all this crap food on a regular basis and we're fat and sick as a result. And then we throw on pharmaceuticals and all this other corrective medicine to try to fix people, when really they need to fix what they're doing by putting food in their body, getting outside, walking, and doing all the things that we know humans need to do on a regular basis. Trying to escape the sun. It's pretty sunny out. One of the most beautiful days in Austin in a while. It's been cold lately. Why do I drink my fat in the morning? Now, if I'm talking about fasting, you'd think I'd be just saying to not eat food, right? But the reason this is so powerful is because this is using fatty acids. It's using nutrients that aren't going to spike your hormones and produce insulin and cortisol and all these things the way that eating regular food does. So what you do is you get some appetite suppressing nutrients that can also help fuel you for the day. And you use this in lieu of breakfast, especially for those that have been eating breakfast for a long time. This is a great way to eventually get to a point where you can go without breakfast and you don't have to have anything. I do cold brew probably 50% of the time, and I do the Drink Your Fat the other times when I want also the other benefits of kind of cognitive clarity. And if I got a lot of work to do and I really got to think, then the MCT oil and the fats really help fuel the brain and get into ketone production, things like that. The Drink Your Fat is really, really good if you're eating breakfast now and you want to transition off of that. So I highly recommend this, and you can find out kind of my brief explanation and the basic recipe at drinkyourfat.com. Get the free ebook up there. Really, this is probably the best way to start. Now, you could, if you don't naturally enjoy breakfast and you're not really hungry in the mornings, just push back your breakfast as long as you can. That's the #1 thing. Most people feel this need because they've been pressured by society and all the dogma that the media uses. That's basically biased food marketing propaganda crap. to think that they got to wake up and eat something immediately or their whole day's ruined, right? That is a fallacy. That is nonsense, right? If you can go naturally yourself, your own metabolism, without eating food, you're going to get all the benefits of intermittent fasting. So you do that more, the better. The more you go without food, the more you extend the period of time, the more benefits of intermittent fasting you get, which you get hormone regulation, appetite suppression, you get insulin sensitivity, GH production. I mean, in fact, for guys that are worried about getting big or want to get big, fasting, which is calorie timing, not calorie restriction, so there's a big difference there, could be the best thing for you. Could be the treasure trove of results that you just are right in front of you that you just need to crack open. Fasting is huge. In fact, with that, if anyone's interested in that, I recommend checking out leangains.com, checking out Martin B's work. He kind of brought fasting to the forefront and is largely responsible for making it popular, which is awesome, right? If you don't want to do a black coffee or butter coffee, or drink your fat coffee, even tea you could just do straight water with some apple cider vinegar, which is actually going to help you in the fasted state, and or lemon or lime juice, and actually a dash of pink salt. I like to add to that. And you can actually get wild pink salt at wildfoods.co. Use code WILDCEO for 10% off. Actually, it might be 12% off. That is also a very viable option. And I think everyone, personally, I try to, and everyone should wake up to a full glass of water every day. I do it for my back. I kind of been working through some back pain, and the number one thing you're supposed to do is drink a lot of water to kind of hydrate everything and make it elastic and kind of lubricate the joints and everything. Water also helps you suppress appetite and helps you with those feelings of hunger. So the more water you drink, the less likely you are to be hungry. In fact, if you ever are feeling hungry, drink a full glass of water and give it 10 minutes. You'll be surprised. It's like the most natural calorie restriction weight loss remedy there is. If you need to fast, or you want to fast, or you're feeling hungry and you're feeling cranky as a result, drink some water. It really is amazing. Okay, so that's going to be my best option if you're not doing something like coffee and the drink your fat method, is to drink a full glass of water with some lemon or lime juice, with some acid, and with some pink salt for those electrolytes. So let's say you got your fast down every morning, you're skipping breakfast, you're pushing it back 4 to 6 hours, and then you're just kind of breaking the fast either at lunchtime or even at dinner time. I like to do that sometimes. There's a lot of different ways to do this, but the fundamental point you're trying to achieve, the fundamental goal you're trying to achieve with something like intermittent fasting, and there's multiple ways to do this, but the way I do it is typically 2 meals a day with a 16-hour fasting window, followed by an 8-hour feeding window. And the more you can compress that eating window, the better. So what that looks like is, if I break my fast at, let's say, 4 p.m. In fact, let's use a simpler schedule for those that wake up and go to 9 to 5s. I wake up late, especially since we have a newborn, so my schedule's a little different. Let's say you wake up at 8 o'clock. You don't eat breakfast until 12 o'clock. Now, here's something to keep in mind. Breakfast means breaking the fast. Your breakfast is now lunchtime. It's not lunch, right? If you break your fast at dinner, it's not dinner, it's just breakfast. So again, this is all the marketing, the societal, cultural stuff that's been filtered into our brains. It's been pounded in there. That is not accurate. Breakfast is anytime you break the fast. So in that regard, sure, breakfast is the most important meal of the day because it's the first time of the day you're going to eat. But it doesn't matter when it is. It's still breakfast if it's early or if it's late. All right, moving on. So if you have a 16-hour fasted window, which is a lot of the research suggests is where you get a lot of the benefits of fasting, is when you can kind of hit that 16-hour mark, kind of between 16 and 20, and then like a full day fast, super good for you, something you should try to do once a week. But in general, I aim for a 16-hour window every single day. So if my last meal from the day before to breakfast the next morning, like, so if you wake up at 8 and you don't eat until 12, that's 4 hours. So your last meal would have to be 4 hours before you went to bed if you were getting 8 hours of sleep. All right. So if you go to bed at 8 p.m., who goes to bed at 8 p.m.? If you go to bed at 10 p.m., 10 a.m. the next day is 12 hours. Add 4 to that. 2 p.m. would be the best time to break your fast to get the 16-8. All right. If you wake up at 6 a.m. and your first meal is at 6, right? 6 hours of fasting in the morning. Then you only have to hit 10 hours from the night before. You would have 8 hours of sleeping and then not eat at least 2 hours before you went to bed. But what's great about this is it can fluctuate. If you go to bed early or late one day, it's going to be based on when you last ate. So you break your fast ideally, and again, don't be neurotic with this. It's not a big, like, you're not trying to win anything. There's not any grand goal. You're not going to lose the benefits of fasting if you don't hit the magical number. And that's something I see all the time with other diets and keto and things like that. It's like people think that if they have, 10 grams of carbs above what they should, or if they're not in ketosis all the time, that there's no point and there's no benefit. That is nonsense. You get benefit the more you go without food. Every single day that you can go without food, again, medical disclaimer, guys, if you have certain conditions where you need to eat and blah, 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 and plus ease into these things, plus consult your doctor if you're on drugs or have any conditions, blah, 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 disclaimer. Don't take what I'm saying as the end all be all, do your own research, etc. But if you can go periods of time without food and increase that fasting window and do that on a regular basis, you're going to get benefits from that almost every single time. So remember, the goal is to simply go without food for periods of time. And those that timeline, those windows can fluctuate. All right. So don't be neurotic about it, and don't have it be something else that you bring into your life that stresses you out, because you're just going to fail with that kind of mindset. Right. That's why I love fasting, though, because there's so much flexibility to it. I'm not neurotic with breaking my fast every day. If I have an early lunch or whatever, and I feel like eating, I'll break the fast. If one day I'm, Taco Deli here was the best tacos in the world, closed at 3 p.m. Sometimes I just want to eat those freaking tacos. And actually, I don't even get the tacos anymore. I do the bowls because corn is no bueno, guys. I'm completely off corn. I've been off for a while, even though I love corn. It does a lot of things, messes with you, etc. Topic for another day. So if I want to break my fast at, let's say, 3 p.m., right before they close, and my 16-hour window would have been better at like 4 or 5 p.m., 6 p.m., whatever, I'm not going to stress about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to eat those tacos at 3 p.m., and then I'm going to kind of intuitively, my body at this point is kind of grasps it. He just does it naturally. I'm going to eat my second meal, which will be my last meal, within 8 hours of that first meal. So if 3 p.m. tacos, I have to 11 p.m. to eat my last meal. So what I'll do is I'll work, whatever, I'll come home later, and I'll eat whenever it's convenient. I'll eat at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, whatever. If I want to even eat late and I extend the fasting or eating period, then I might eat at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, whatever. I go to bed late, so, I can tend to eat late, and then I can start the whole thing over the next day. Make them fluid. Don't be rigid. If you want to eat or need to eat, that's fine. But try to extend that period of time that you go fasting every single day. That's where all the benefits are going to be found. And the more you do that, the more you're going to get all the benefits of hormone regulation, appetite suppression, etc. You're just not going to be a slave. And this is my favorite thing about it. You're not going to be a slave to the hunger monster that most people are. You're never going to be saying to yourself, I'm so hungry, or any of that food whining, which is really just hormone whining. You're not going to be a hormone slave. It is the most liberating thing there is when it comes to nutrition and diet. I just can't stress this enough, which is why I make so many videos on intermittent fasting, because not only does all the research show that increases longevity and lifespan and all the things, but it just makes your life simpler and better, more fluid, less rigid, and you don't have to deal with feeling like crap because your hormones are controlling your life, and that is extremely empowering. So I hope today's video is useful. If you aren't fasting, I really hope you start fasting. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Get the free ebook at drinkyourfat.com. There's a great primer in there about why you do it, how to do it, the base recipe. There's a few other recipes in there, and I think you'll find a lot of value in that. And as always, life's too short to be anything but your best. So let's get off the sugar, let's kick the grains, let's kick the processed food, let's stop feeding this crap to our kids, and let's live better lives more in tune with our biology and with our genes. And that's how we're going to change the world, because we're going to pass on that legacy to our kids, and the people around us are going to see what we're doing, and they're going to be interested, and they're going to follow suit, right? We can be a leader with these things, and people around us will pay it forward through them through osmosis by just being who we are, not preaching to people. You don't have to shame people. You don't have to convince them. You don't even have to argue with them. Nothing. Just do what you want to do in your life to get the results you want. And when you get those results and people ask you how you do this and why you feel so great or whatever, people are going to absorb that. People absorb behaviors through observation and from being around you, not from you telling them, right? And that's kind of a good lesson for life, guys. You don't change people's mind by telling them. You can change their mind by them watching what you do and the results you get. As always, guys, follow me on Instagram at Colin Stuckert. Slap the subscribe, jab the thumbs up, and thanks for watching. Let's get to it. I know that we wrapped the video up, but this is going to be my after credits vid like Marvel does. We're going to do that for every video. I'm going to try to do it for every video. Make it kind of cool and engaging and fun. I just broke my fast. I wanted to kind of follow up and let you know how my day went, because the video earlier, I hadn't eaten yet or anything. Now that it's 6:30, I just broke my fast and I woke up about 12, so it's about 6.5 hours from morning to my first meal. I did have some drink your fat earlier, I had a little bit, and then I had a cold brew at the coffee shop where I work, and that's all I've had. And I've been kind of working this entire time, which that's the best time to fast, is when you're not bored, you're not sitting around at home, and you're not just thinking about eating or whatever. You know, that makes fasting easier for me. It also what makes my life simple, because I got to work during the day and I don't have to spend time worrying about food. I don't have to spend time going to get it or whatever. And then on the days that I want to eat, I can just take a quick lunch break, right? Especially up here at the Domain with restaurants all around. There's a Whole Foods right there. If I'm going to then eat my last meal for today, I'll probably eat it around between 10 and 12. So 10 p.m. and midnight. And it just depends on what's going on at home and how hungry I get. I'm about to go work out. A lot of times what I like to do is actually work out before I break my fast, but because I was up here and I'm not really sure when I'm gonna get to the gym, I still have some stuff to do, I just decided to eat now and get it over with. Again, personal preference, guys. You can be flexible with this. And if I eat my last meal today at 10 p.m. or midnight, tomorrow, depending on how I feel, I mean, Sunday, I probably will want tacos from Taco Deli, so I'll probably break my fast at 3 p.m. tomorrow. If I do that, I will hit a 16-hour fast as long as I eat at before midnight. I guess I have to eat at 10 o'clock tonight would be my last meal, and then I'll get a 16-hour fast tomorrow. If I eat my last meal at midnight and I still want tacos tomorrow, again, I'm going to do that. And I'm still going to get 14 to 15-hour fast, which is much better than most people do that are eating all the time and that are basically slaves to their hormones. I'm still going to get a lot of benefit out of a 15-hour fast. You get benefit out of even an 8-hour fast. The longer you go without food, the more benefit you're going to get. Today's my average typical day. And I'll wake up between 10 a.m. and noon, depending on the baby at night, keeping us up. And I'll break my fast sometime between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. And if I'm playing racquetball, I go to the gym about 6. I get done at about 9. And then my first meal is literally like 9:30 or 10, and I fasted the entire day. And I do that Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that just comes naturally because I'm usually busy all day long, and then I get to the gym and I don't want to play racquetball on a full stomach, so I wait till after. And I'm telling you, when you start doing that and you start training in a fasted state, then there's a whole nother world of benefit that you have yet to unlock. And again, like I said earlier, for the guys or girls, that want to build muscle, fasting can actually be your secret weapon. It improves hormone sensitivity. It improves GH production, testosterone, all these things. If you want to build more muscle, fasting can be extremely beneficial and help you with that. It can actually help you bust through some plateaus because, again, it's about meal timing. It's not about calorie restriction. People think that intermittent fasting is about eating less calories. Well, let's take a day of 24 hours and let's put all those calories spread out through the day like a grazing animal, like a cow, right? Or let's put all those calories together in one big meal a day or 2 big meals a day, the same amount of calories, just compressed. So that period where you're not eating, you're getting all those hormone benefits that help with muscle building and weight loss and all those things, right? And you're getting the same amount of... All right, well, battery's about to die, so that's gonna be today's video. So just be yourself and be awesome and be the best you can be, and then pass that on to someone else. That's what we're trying to do every single day. That's the point of watching videos like this, so you can take action and become better. Thanks for watching.